אוקיי, אנחנו ממשיכים הלאה. הדוברת הבאה היא קרן אלעזרי. השם בטח מוכר לרובכם. מדובר באישיות מוכרת מאוד בתעשיית אבטחת המידע בארץ, וגם מתעסקת בהאקינג. עבדה בעשור האחרון עם מספר רב של חברות בינלאומיות, גם בארץ, גם עם גורמים ממשלתיים וכו'. ב-2012 כיהנה כעמיתת הוראה לתחום הביטחון באוניברסיטת סינגולריטי בעמק הסיליקון. למי שמכיר את המוסד, מדובר בכבוד לא קטן. כמי ששמע אותה יותר מפעם אחת, אני יכול להגיד שמדובר בהחלט בדוברת מאוד מאוד מוכשרת, והיא אכן הרצתה במגוון כנסים. יש פה רשימה ענקית, אני לא מתחיל אפילו לעבור עליה. כיום היא קרן עמיתת מחקר בסדנת יובל נאמן, עוסקת בשילוב בין מרחב הסייבר, מודיעין, פוליטיקה והמלחמה המודרנית, במסגרת תואר שני בתוכנית לימודי הביטחון של אוניברסיטת תל אביב. במסגרת סדנת יובל נאמן, קרן מובילה את קבוצת העבודה בנושא שיתוף מידע וידע בנושא התקפות סייבר בסקטור הפרטי. קרן אלעזרי.
Thank you, Michael. So I'll speak in English for the benefit of our international guests. And those couple of presentations, not only a tough act to follow, but also a scary one at that. So after we heard about the dangers of cyber hell, about hacking into brains and robots that might take over our world, I'm here with a little bit of good news. I'm here to tell you that there are still some good guys and good girls around, and some of them are even here amongst us. So in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to tell you very briefly about these heroes that we have with us. So in fact, these are some of the new professions in the cyber age. We have the people with the red hats putting on their hacker tool sets to provide red team testing in order to promote security. We've got teachers and educators concerned with the future of our cyber experts. We've got doctors with their heads in the clouds, thinking about how cloud computing is bringing about a change and the risks that are involved with it. And we have security professionals passionate about sharing their knowledge, their information, about sharing intelligence, and helping each other. So these are, of course, our working groups. As part of the workshop's activities, we have regular events, meetups, sessions, held voluntarily, where professionals, academics, private and public sector individuals gather to focus on these areas of expertise. And I'm going to start very briefly and tell you about these activities. I'm going to start with our most adventurous team, perhaps the team that has the most fun. These are the red team. Now, these guys, some of them are here with us in the audience today, and you can identify them when they put their hacker hats on, like this. So, this is the red team's red hat. And when they put on this sort of hacker hat, what they do is they contribute with their hacker tool sets and capabilities in order to provide pen testing, penetration testing and risk assessments, but they do it in a voluntary capacity, working to promote national cyber defenses with assessments and recommendations. They're actually providing pen testing for organizations that are not secure, organizations that are not covered by national defenses or by the military. These are some of the examples of their recent activities, crawling around, looking at how they can hack into hospitals, medical systems. Yeah, some of the guys are right here. Say hello. Yeah. Good job, guys. Now, these are security professionals, private sector, public sector. Some of them are academics, but they all come together. They contribute from their time and from their expertise in order to promote the national cyber resilience of Israel, and I think that's applaudable. Now, moving on to the people concerned with our future. We all know that education is the future, and kids are the key for that. So we heard about the need for coming up with cyber warriors, cyber defenders, cyber thinkers. There are fantastic groups and projects here in Israel focused on building the next generation of cyber expert. One such example is the Magshimim program, and some of the children, some of the kids, high school kids from this program were here with us today. These are talented high school kids that participate in programs after hours in order to learn cyber technologies and become the forefront of the new cyber warriors. Now, cloud computing. The group led by Dr. Guy Teltzur focuses on mapping the changes, the risks, and the impacts of cloud computing and coming up with recommendations and guidelines on the best ways to secure the secure computing in the cloud space. And finally, the group that I'm involved with, information sharing. You've heard a lot about information sharing today. You've heard about why it's needed, why it's critical, but also how it's so difficult to bring about. So the information sharing group really got together with the goal of promoting practices of information and knowledge sharing about cyber attacks in order to really promote the overall readiness and security stance of Israeli organizations. Now, when we talk about promoting practices, we actually mean it. And I'm proud to say that with the assistance of Niv David, a fellow at the workshop, and Mr. Meni Brazilai from Bank Hapoalim, we've brought together a real community of security professionals that has already came together in information sharing meetups, sharing some of their knowledge as well. For example, incident response guidelines from Josh Goldfarb, formerly head of analysis for the US CERT. He now lives in Israel and he came to share his knowledge with us, but also sharing intelligence and information. The lists of websites that you see here are websites that were targeted in the recent Op Israel anonymous hacktivist wave of attacks. Now, people within our group got that information and we started sharing it and circulating it amongst trusted partners within our network so that the organizations listed on that target could be protected in time. And last but not least, the group is committed to produce a mission statement and guidelines document that is going to really help facilitate information sharing in the private sector in Israel. And we are really expecting to cooperate on this level with national organizations like the National Cyber Bureau and the National CERT. So, in conclusion, this was very brief. I'd just like to say there are some fantastic groups coming about, and the best thing about it, these are all people contributing from their own time and their experience to work on a better future. So this is a little bit of optimism after all of the scary presentations that we've heard. Thank you. Now, yeah, thanks. Now, before we move ahead, if you'd like to participate, support, or ask questions, please direct your emails at the workshop email address listed here, and they'll be able to facilitate communications with the right work groups within the workshop. Thank you again.